Hi friends, our topic today is marketing, an introduction to marketing. Let's start with a quote from Philip Kotler, the guru of marketing. What he says, that marketing is easy to teach and understand but very difficult to practice. Let's see what it means. You will find that if you read books, you listen to people, you can get a lot about the concepts which are involved in marketing. But when you go to real life situation, when you are actually going to actually practice marketing, that's where a lot of extra skill sets come in, and you get to understand every day. You may find that marketing reveals to you new types of thought processes, new types of concepts which you can see in the actual practicing in the real world. Marketing management, as per me, I believe that it involves a lot of common sense. You have to have a lot of curiosity, and you have to think a lot. And this thinking has got to be both, it has to be lateral as well as you have also to think very deep. I'll start with a particular introduction of this. Two words I'm going to talk about: needs and wants. Any marketing process, you will find that whatever is a commercial activity, the commercial activity primarily is involved around marketing. You'll have either something, a product or a service. It can be a financial service, it can be any type of a household common, daily needs item. But primarily there is something which has got to be marketed. And at the center of this entire process, there is a customer. This customer has got a need, and marketing has got to satisfy that need. But there is a subtle difference between these two words, a need and a want. Need is something which basically shows a state of, something is lacking. There is a state of deprivation. So what will happen? Somebody may have like a need for commuting, a need for education, a need for food. There's a need. But when it comes to what the customer will want, like in that commuting, whether they will want a car, they will want a two-wheeler, they will take a public conveyance. Now that's something which they want, but the basic need is for commuting. Similarly, when it comes to satisfying an hunger, the basic need will be that the person is hungry, they need some, but what food they will take, what they will want, that can change. And here lies a basic thing, because in marketing what we try to do, can we look around and see, is there a need gap? Is there a problem that basically requires a solution? Now, if such a gap is found, then what a marketer can do, they can see whether they can offer something which can satisfy that need, which can give a solution to that problem. So once having seen that, then the marketer can see, is it possible for them to make a commercial success out of it? Can they make a commercial proposition by which, while they are satisfying that need of the consumer or the customer, they are also in their own way making profits? So in a way, we can find that marketing ultimately evolves around satisfying a customer or a consumer's requirement and profitably. Now this is important because ultimately it's a commercial activity. It's not a charity. So now, since it's a commercial activity, there has got to be a profit. So the marketer has also to see whether that proposition is viable. So it ultimately comes in whether for the customer, is there a desirability for it? Is there an affordability? Can they afford it? And for the marketer, is the whole thing viable? So three issues we get: desirability, affordability, and viability. But primarily it is centering around what is that particular need. Now let us see what can need be. We'll come to this a bit later. There are two other words which I've got: prospects and demands. Let's move a little, let's move around this and let's see what we can get. I'll take you through a few. Now let us see these. Now Kit Kat is a chocolate which is basically, you'll find it's a wafer which is coated with chocolate. Now this is very popular. This is an absolutely successful brand from Nestle. But in chocolate you have also got this other variety, which is basically what they say dairy milk. That means it's a chocolate bar. There is no wafer inside. Here we find that Cadbury's is extremely popular. Whereas when we look at Nestle's milk chocolate, this is not that popular. And when we look at the wafer coated with chocolate of Cadbury's, which is Perks, it is comparatively not that popular. Now see, both are, if we can observe, both are big companies. Both are spending so much of money when it comes to advertising, promotion. Their products are so good. Yet, when it comes to the customer, we discover that when it comes to a wafer coated with chocolate, if that is the offering, which is basically this variety, in this Nestle is more popular than Cadbury. Whereas when it comes to a milk chocolate, we find that Cadbury is more popular. Now this takes us, friends, to something that what the customer basically is wanting. The need in the case of a chocolate may be what? There may be so many types of needs. Somebody may say it's a snacking, somebody say for taste, somebody may say excitement, somebody may say fun. Now, whatever these types of needs are, when it comes to satisfying that particular need, in a particular variant, we discover that of one company's, one variant is more successful than the other. Now, a marketer basically has to see which particular part of that need is being fulfilled. And if they are able to get that correctly, then they have got a successful formula. This is what basically comes when we look at the market and we look at the consumer. We have to see what basically is the need gap. Many companies are very successful in this and they make successful products. Sometimes what happens over a period of time, that particular delivery may also fade away. Let us see a few more such instances. Amul, for instance, in butter, they are absolutely ruling the roost. But Amul also has got a chocolate. And here again we find this very successful company when it comes to chocolate, somehow it is not that successful. We'll have to think. Parle-G, this glucose variant, as a matter of fact, recently it has come out, they have become practically number one in the biscuit segment, ruled primarily by a glucose biscuit. Britannia, their competitor, they have been trying a lot with their glucose variant. Britannia also very successful, but in this particular variant, it is Parle which is ruling. See again, what is happening, what the customer is going to want, that may decide the success or the failure of the company.